Alright, it's about 6 a.m. We got up at about 5 because that's what time our baby woke up. And for the first time in a long time, we're going to do a vlog. And for the first time ever, we're going to do a family vlog. So we are inexperienced parents, but experienced campers. So we're going to take you on the journey of being morons and going out into the bush with a baby. Our baby is 12 weeks old, and let's see how we go. We're going to head down to Denmark to the family farm. Now there will be access to stuff, but we are going to treat it like there's not. So we're going to treat it like we're off grid. Yeah, come along for the journey. Alright, it is 7:35 because that's how long it takes to pack when you have a baby. We're fully packed. We've probably overpacked, but that's kind of, part of not knowing what the hell you're doing. Time to hit the road, I reckon. So, estimated arrival 12:38. I reckon we've got 12:39. It's just changed. I reckon we've got absolutely zero chance of making it in that time. We're hoping for like 2 o'clock. It'll probably be 2:30. And that's just because Bill will need a feed, we'll need a feed, we've got plenty of fuel. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Beaufort River on the way down south on Albany Highway. Can anyone tell me what actually happened there? Because it used to be a servo, then it turned into like a Halloween shop that sold lollies. Like Halloween shop all year round. All they sold was like Halloween stuff, which is the most unusual shop you could possibly have on like a major road down south. And now it's just not open. So like I'm not sure if it was like bought by a crazy person and the crazy person just wanted to sell Halloween stuff, or like what the go is. There it is.
Can't see it very well, but it's a really weird place. Really weird.
Truly one of the weirdest places I've ever seen. But yeah, if anyone knows the story, we want to know.
Love to know.
We'd love to know. We always talk about it.
So we have an hour to go and a very sleepy baby. Don't know if you can see that, probably not, but he's fast asleep. And we're hoping he will stay asleep.
I really, really hope so, because if we can get him there asleep, then I can drop Sam off at the house, and then I'm going to go and get some firewood. Because yes, despite it being November, we're actually allowed to have fires down here. And that's because Shire of Denmark has a rule where if it's very high or below on the fire danger scale, you have a 30 centimetre wall, you're on private property and you cleared 5 metres, you are allowed to have a campfire from 6 p.m. until when you go to sleep. As long as you put it out, it's all good. So I can actually have fires here all year round as long as the fire danger level is correct, and it is. So driving in now. Sam is using her special skills. What are you doing, Sam?
Heaps.
I actually would usually get Sam to drive some of it, but she was exhausted. She did offer, but she didn't get a good night's sleep and had Bill and stuff like that. Sam is more than capable of driving this car with a heavy trailer behind, so I'm not stressed about that. She's great at driving it on-road, off-road, everything. So don't think for a second that I am the exclusive driver of this car. Hello, car. It's right. Hello, car. Yeah. Now I'm going to drop them off and I'm going to go get some firewood. Alright, mate. You're going to go meet your first tractor. This is your grandparents' Massey Ferguson. What do you think? Yeah, he looks pretty happy. He looks pretty happy about it. This is your Ditter's tractor. Whoop! Oh. Stay upright. Let's go have a look at your Ditter's other tractor. Come on.
Hey?
You're probably too big for it already, actually.
Have you got your license? Excuse me, license and registration. Yes. Please.
Yes, you.
Hands where I can see him.
Don't follow the rusty metal, please.
You've not had your tetanus jab yet.
Alright, mate. You are clearly too pissed to
Gosh.
drive.
Get the baby.
He's clearly too pissed to drive. Have you been drinking milk, mate? Alright. Okay, we're looking pretty full. Making the noise. It's making the noise. Yep, there it is. Okay, turn it off. Thank you. One full water tank. Whoa, that's probably too full. That gives us a lot of flexibility with showers, washing up, whatever we want. Bathing Bill. Love that. So much water.
Nice to have the freedom.
Yeah.
And shine light in the baby's eyes.
Just ready to put it in the car and go down to camp.
Yes, let's go. Rejigging of the campsite.
That's a dead level trailer. And I reckon I can pull the wood off it.
Fred's inspecting it, making sure it's okay.
Fred's making sure it's okay.
Yeah.
Pull the wood off it and then set it up.
Great.
Cool.
Can't wait to see it in all its
I will
glory.
leave you to baby.
Yes.
So just a heads up with tonight, I'm not going to film a ton, and that's because we're here with Santa's parents and want to sort of maintain some privacy, but we will show you bits and pieces. We'll show you what we have for dinner, but yeah, we're not going to film too much in camp tonight. We'll film a lot more of that tomorrow night, but the sun's going down. It's looking beautiful. Camp is all set up. Fire is not yet lit because it's not 6 o'clock. As soon as 6 o'clock comes around, we'll light that. We'll get an experimental dish on the go. So this is what I do when I'm out family camping and stuff. I try out new dishes, see if they work, and then once I'm happy with them, you guys see them. Alright, see you in tick.
That's a damn good dad.
So for dinner tonight, we are going to do a little experimental one, which is a one-pot wonder. It's basically sort of a pasta bake with ham, cheese, tomato, leek, that kind of stuff. Very easy, I think, but haven't tested it yet, so give it a crack tonight. I'll let you know what it's like, and if it's good, you'll see it on YouTube. Alright, dinner was a success.
Total
You will get
success.
the full recipe, even with gluten-free pasta.
It's so good.
It's actually really good.
I love it.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Thank you. I can take zero credit for this recipe. My mum designed this, and I just turned it into a campfire version. So we're going to call it a night. Well, we're not going to. We're going to call this video a night for tonight. You get what I mean. I'll see you in the morning,
See you tomorrow.
and we'll go exploring. Cheers. Good morning. Apparently, last night was the hardest night we've had since Bill was born, I think. Has nothing to do with the setup or the camper. Has everything to do with the fact that this idiot forgot to pack the thing that Bill's supposed to sleep in, something that he's comfortable in. So he slept on the change table. we wrapped him up and did all the rest of it, but we reckon he had maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours sleep last night. Then we figured out a way, and the whole rest of the time Sam had to rock him, or I rocked him. If he wasn't being rocked, he was screaming. It was brutal. But we eventually figured out a way, and it's, not exactly perfectly SIDS safe and all the rest of it. We figured out a way to get him to sleep, which is basically with his head on the pillow. If his head's up, he seems to be alright. Did that, he got another 2 hours sleep. So Sam is exhausted. She took the brunt of it. I was only up for sort of maybe an hour and a half or something with her, and then I don't know, I think I was up for 3 hours or something last night. Not too bad, but Sam was up for basically the whole night. Anyway, the camper was brilliant. It's very comfortable, it's very warm, great ventilation. The stereo was really, really good for playing white noise to Bill. At the moment, Sam's asleep. The grandparents are looking after Bill, and I am caffeinating. And we'll see what happens next, because I don't know how productive today's going to be. It's going to be quite hard to film because we're both useless. See you in a tick. I bet you feel like talking to a camera right now.
So much.
How much sleep do you reckon you got besides this nap in the morning?
Maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, I guess about an hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty rotten.
That was the worst night since Bill's been born, I think.
Yeah, that was pretty rotten.
Yeah. Well, my drone arrives today. So I've put up a thing on Instagram. Hopefully someone is coming down to this area. If they are, they're going to bring the nest and the drone.
Great.
Yeah.
That's
That'll
nice.
help. At least we know that new spot. But look, this is all part of learning how to do this, which we don't know how to do yet.
That's right. Yeah.
So you're coming on the journey. We're not hiding it. Oh, and it's also raining.
It is, but it's in a nice
It's
way.
quite lovely.
Yeah.
Quite lovely. So I'll show you outside. Fred's happy. Fire's going. The bottles and whatnot all washed up.
It's a cozy bed though.
It's a comfy bed. The electric blanket was actually quite good.
I loved it so much.
$40 from Dick Smith, or Kogan, same company now. Definitely recommend that. Don't know how long it'll last, but if you're married to a lizard like I am, then it's great. And I think we're going to go to Boston for lunch and do a bit of shopping.
But first, caffeine.
Alright, you want a coffee?
Yeah.
Hot or cold?
I don't mind.
Alright, I'll get you a caffeine into your face.
Thank you. My face hole.
Caffeine into face hole now.
Charlie.
One caffeine.
Wouldn't say he's awake either. Thank you. Oh my god. I'm leaving you for this coffee.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Beaten by the best.
The best.
Alright. Caffeinate. I just had a shower outside, and even though it was drizzling a little bit, it was bloody beautiful.
Nice.
The shower's really good. Hot water system's really hot, which I know Sam's a fan of.
Very much so.
And we've used bugger all water relative to how much the system holds. So, hold on. Half of one tank, and we have not been conserving in any way.
Not at all.
Yeah. And that's excluding the Jerry's and the extra tank. So, yeah, we've got 250 litres of water. We reckon we've used 30 or 40. So, we're fine.
Bill's
So
pretty
Sam's-
proud of himself for being up all night.
Yeah, I'm very proud of himself. Sam's sorting Bill out, and I'm just doing a quick bit of work. So, I'm just going to sort out some stuff on the website and stuff. It's the nature of being mobile. Or working an online business is you sort of get days off, but if I do, I reckon I can get away with doing half an hour to an hour of work a day on the computer, and then half an hour to an hour of work a day on the phone, and I can sort of keep things at bay, which is, I'm very happy to do that. It's not a hardship. Better crack on.
So that's our nappy change setup. Fred's helping. We put him near the fire because it's nice and warm over there. And that's Dad of the Year doing nappies. Doing a great job. Thanks, Fred. We're at the pub.
Come on, Bill. Let's go to the pub.
I wish I could say this was Bill's first trip to the pub, but that would be a damn lie.
Be a bare-faced lie.
Let's go get some lunch, eh?
So keen. Well, Boston Brew is closed, by the way. Wednesday to Sunday, they're open. So we're at the pub. Oh, that was a perfectly respectable meal. That was the Denmark Tavern. Well done, Denmark Tavern. Sam, how was your meal?
Delicious. Had the ribs, so it was really nice. Bill, how was your meal?
Gluten-free. Bill had some formula. Anyway, we are going to go and do a quick shop. Now, one thing we always do is we always shop in the town we're going through, if at all possible. Look, if we're going for one night, it's too hard to like pull in while you can still shop and do all that kind of stuff. But if it's at all possible, we will pack the bare minimum from Perth, whatever we've got in our fridge and freezer and stuff like that, enough for the first night, and then everything else we buy in that town. And Denmark has great supermarkets, well, a great supermarket and a small supermarket. The big one is actually really good, the Super RGA. So we'll go there, we'll go to the butcher, and we're sorted for the next 4 days. Let's go and do it.
Went to the butcher, they were very good.
Yeah, how'd you go there?
Yeah, very well. They had exactly what I needed. I'd definitely go back there again. That was the Denmark butcher.
Yeah, great bacon actually, really good smoked bacon. Right, we're going to go back to the farm. I'm going to have a nap.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll unpack the stuff obviously and then have a quick nap, and then I think we'll probably head off straight after coffee tomorrow morning.
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah.
And by that I mean mid to late morning, because nothing is quick with a baby.
Exactly, yeah. If we wake up at 5 a.m, we might leave at 10.
Yeah.
And we'll probably get breakfast in town, or something quick to nibble on in town. Again, we like to support local things, and who doesn't like someone else making their toasted sandwich?
Exactly.
So, all right, let's head back to the farm. Back in my usual station, cooking dinner. Both had a rest. I got an hour actually, which was awesome. Thank you very much, wife.
No worries.
For taking care of a baby for an hour. Well, I did absolutely bugger all. And you got about 40 minutes.
It's damn good.
But we're a little bit time poor because we're going out for a drink with the parents. And then we come back down and cook dinner. So tonight we're doing something that, look, by the time this comes out, I would say I'm going to take a
Stab in the dark?
Stab in the dark and say the video for this will not be out, but I have done it before.
I haven't tried it. I've tried my version of it, but not Harry's version, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is like a lemongrass, no, not lemongrass, like a satay pork skewer thing. It's sort of an old like Indonesian street food recipe, and it is really, really good. Really, really, really good. And
I can't wait to try it.
There you go, Bill. He's actually cheered up.
He's having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, he was having a nightmare for the rest of the day.
It's been hard work.
He's been really hard work. Like, this is honestly probably the hardest 48 hours.
It's been a tough couple of days.
He's been, like, since being born.
Smell like onion and garlic.
You want to smell some garlic?
Garlic? You'll like that
He's not
later.
sure about that.
But it's not milk.
He's about to sneeze.
It's not milk. Oh yeah, it's a bit you've got some garlic in your hair.
Sexy garlic. That's sexy garlic.
It's because garlic can be a bit spicy, can't it? Raw garlic.
Oh yeah.
I suppose.
Very nasally stimulating.
Very on the nose, nasally stimulating. You make it sound like that's like a technical term. It's not.
I think it's a technical term for cocaine.
No, that's nose beers.
That was nice. We had a little sundowner with the in-laws.
Yeah. And the banshee.
And the banshee. Now,
internet meet banshee. He's actually not banshing right
He's
now.
perfectly fine right now, of course, we turn the camera on him. He has been crying for 2 days.
On and off.
On and off. But it's just been
With grizzles in between.
really hard.
Yeah.
And
Has that just run out of water? Is that the end of the tank?
That's fine. We're honestly tossing up our options now. Do we go home?
Or go to Bremer?
Not today. We're going to give it another night. If we're about to go into the bush and drive further away from home and further into difficulty,
Yeah.
like
I don't think I could handle a week of a screaming baby.
what's the point?
Exactly.
Handling a week
I
of a
wouldn't
screaming
enjoy it.
baby?
This is meant to be enjoyable.
Yeah, we're on holiday.
Yeah.
So we're not... I know I'm filming now, but
Yeah.
like I'm not filming cooking episodes. I'm not filming anything else. I'm
This
just...
is, but it's also something we do for fun.
This is actually how we want to spend our holiday.
Yeah.
Like after this, the camera goes off. It goes into a thing and we'll take a couple of still photos and that's it for memories.
Yeah. But we hope that tonight will be a better night and then we can crack on.
Yeah, we're going to give him a bath. So we're just filling up the bath here. I think that's run out of hot water.
Yeah, I think that was the noise difference.
Yep, okay. Give it a second for the hot water system to heat up again. But yep, look, we're gonna
We'll
do
see.
what we can do.
We'll see how we go. It's nice to know that we have a backup option.
Yeah.
If shit does hit the fan, we just go home tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'd rather that didn't happen, but it's better than having a shit week.
Yeah. There's no point
No.
having a terrible time in the bush
Yeah.
if we can have a few days off at home.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll figure it out. We'll figure out this baby camping thing.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we definitely have not got it figured out. Who knows? This might not even go up to YouTube. I usually do put the fails up on YouTube. So I'm just checking the water. I usually do put our disappointments up on YouTube because I like people to have a realistic idea of what happens.
Yeah. It's not all Instagram stories and
Yeah.
glory.
See how we go.
Yeah. Wish us luck.
Wish us luck. This is permanent. Basically permanent. We've tried everything. We just don't know what to do.
So we're going to try bath.
We're going to try a bath. Baths are something that can change Bill's mood from just dreadful and a total banshee to fine. Just does his thing.
It's a bit of a circuit breaker.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, you do. What about someone's head? Oh, not in his face. A little bit in your eyeball. Oh.
He's happy. He's still all good.
Hello, darling. My wriggly boy.
Alright, I'll let you know how this goes. Here's hoping.
Hello. So, Bill's just done a giant turd, and now he's the happiest baby in the world, aren't you? Yes.
You being a happy baby now?
Yes, he is. Aren't you a delightful baby? Yes, life's better after a poo, isn't it?
And a booby.
Yeah, a poo and a booby. Yes. Are you going to sleep well tonight? Yes, you are. No, you're not. Who am I kidding? Oh, hey, mate. I missed this version of you. Yes.
I didn't expect it to be anywhere near this hard to go camping with a kid.
I suspected he might sleep badly out of the snoo, but I didn't expect his day to be so bad.
Yeah, I think he's just overtired. Look, we're really genuinely motivated to jump over this hurdle.
Yeah.
So,
I don't want this to defeat us.
no.
All right. Should we change this nappy?
Yeah.
Is that all? Yes. Is non-plastic containing baby wipes.
Yes, that's really important. So we use a whole bunch of different brands. Is the one we're using at the moment, which is 2 Tushies, something or other.
Yeah, Tushies by Tom.
Tushies by Tom. They're bamboo, they're biodegradable, non-toxic. Baby wipes are basically just plastic. And that sucks, because the problem with plastic is it breaks up, it doesn't break down in the environment. These you can chuck in the fire, you can chuck in the bin, you can chuck in your bloody compost bin if you want. But, actually, these ones aren't compostable.
These ones aren't, but the
other ones are.
And the other brand we brought with us was.
Highly recommend, get bamboo wipes. Start with them, get used to them. They're slightly different to the normal plastic wipes. They cost a tiny bit more. We're talking cents extra. Yeah, look, I'm not here to preach, you know, land rights for gay whales, but, you know, do a little bit. Bo from Outback Cleanups to be proud.
So Bill has just done a really big vomit. He's not normally a vomity baby. And he's still very unsettled, although he's actually starting to settle a little bit better now. He's just had a good scream.
Forehead temperature strip.
So we're going to take his temperature. This medical kit has some kind of a temperature strip.
It's the first aid survival kit.
You got it from A247?
A247 sent it to me. It's a really good medical kit actually. But
so I don't know
this
how
kind of
that's meant to
really
work.
Good.
Yeah. 14, 15, so that's fine. So he's 36 degrees, which is normal. I know you didn't enjoy that, did
That's
you?
pretty usable. That's actually pretty cool.
It is actually pretty cool.
We just gave him some baby Panadol, which actually helped a lot last time.
And by last time we mean
4 hours ago.
4 hours ago.
He calmed right down, so maybe he's in some sort of pain, maybe he's a bit sick. But it's just so weird, like, to just scream for hours. As soon as we go camping, it's like, it's too convenient. Hey, little Wrigley Bill. Alright, we had a good night. I think Bill woke up 3 times or something, had three feeds. It's kind of like, so usually he'd wake up once or twice, and you know, he woke up one extra time, but we got sleep. We slept properly, he was feeding quite quickly. We're going to carry on, and we are stoked. We are absolutely stoked. Now, aside from that, now that we've had a nice sleep and we're sort of thinking properly again, it's nice to actually see what in this setup works, and how we can make it work. For example, these little bits next to us in our bed. There you go, Bill. There's like a bit of a shelf next to the bed. So there's a king bed and then there's like a hard shelf here. It's great. That's my cup of coffee there. Got a little reading lamp, USBs, all that kind of stuff. Put your phone down there, get your water bottle down there. On Sam's side, there's some baby Panadol. Hey, Bill. What's going on? He's brewing a big poo, I think. That's been really good. On the other side, having our clothes bags on the, so over there, got clothes bags there and there, and just being able to push that table back out of the way, so there's a sort of a clear area there and there that you can sit, or so Sam will sit there, can sit there and breastfeed if she wants. And the number one thing that I'm really, really glad we did is bring dressing gowns. It is awesome to be able to get up in the night and get into something clean and warm quickly, and sort the little dragon out. Hey, mate. Anyway, so those are the little things that we're very happy with. Haven't really found anything major that we are missing aside from the nest. Maybe we should have gone for a diesel heater system for when it gets really cold. And I believe, I don't know, but I believe if you get a diesel heater, it works not only as a space heater, but as a, excuse the white noise next to me, that's the white noise playing from Sounds Fine. It works as a space heater as well as a water heater, in which case it would last ages on a small tank of diesel. So maybe that's an option in the future, if we did want to do some modifications. Let me know though. I don't know how these diesel heaters work. Are they good? Are they a pain in the arse? Are they really expensive or something? Let me know. But it was only about 7 degrees last night. So it wasn't that cold relative to how cold it gets down in the southwest. It's, you know, often around the 0 and negatives. And Bill's out. I'd say it'll be a slow pack up and get back on the road. I'm just going to fill up the water before we go, because we can get this beautiful rainwater from the farm. Fill up the water in the trailer, fill up the water in the car, and hit the road. And then we're going to meet our mate Ruffa down there. He's bringing my drone, my new drone, and our nest, which is for Bill's bed. I'm going to say I'm going to turn off the camera when we get to Bremer, because we're going to have an actual family holiday for a few days. And then we'll definitely do another one of these in the future. Cheers. So I've got to say, one of the best things we've got, these Muck Mats. You can get them custom made, so I got the right width for that. Got one here, and then also this sea gear mat. Everything would be filthy if we didn't have them. It would just be covered in mud, absolutely covered in mud. The other thing, we've also got one custom made for Fred's little spot in the back of the car, which is great. They're really soft, but yeah, look, the camper actually came with like quite a heavy duty floor mat, but having a light duty one, like 2 or 3 of these take up as much room as one normal floor mat, but they work really well. Yeah, very impressed. But the sea gear mat, the huge one, that's like 5 by 2.4, I think. Just fits this perfectly. 6 by 2.4, sorry. Fits this perfectly. But definitely, like, yeah, you would not want, just because you have an inside area, you really, really don't want crap everywhere, and crap all over the floor. The floor is not perfectly clean, but it's 10 times cleaner than it would be if we didn't have these. Definitely recommend, particularly for families. What are you doing, Sam?
Well, I was being helpful. Having to dismantle the awning, but obviously it rained a bit and there's some water. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's all come down onto my head.
Yeah.
There's nothing left. Lesson learned.
Well done.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you get for brekkie?
Toasty.
Toasty? Great.
I
Thank you.
think that one's yours.
My toasty.
I seem to indicate that one is
Smells
yours.
like fried chicken. We've got chicken sticks all toasty. And we are going to go to Bremer. 2.5 hours to Bremer. Then about an hour from there to House Beach. So we'll take you along for the journey. I've stopped for too long, so Bill's having a grizzle. Let's go.
Holding you back from you. Stand in the sun, burning for fun. You're out looking in when you've already won. You know how it tastes, but you throw it away. Pushing it out when it's pulling you in. Never been closer now.
So I did say Sam drives sometimes, but we found something very funny. Sam, what do you think of the selfie aerial?
I hate it. I hate it so much. It's exactly where I see the road. It's exactly dead on in front of me, and it's wobbling. And it's just throwing out my vision, especially when I'm looking a bit. But this is around the corner, it's not as bad. But when I'm on a straight, I hate it. Like right now, oh my god, that's spinning me out.
See if I can. No, you can't really see it on camera, but you get the idea.
Yeah. Harry has assured me I will get used to it. I hope that's the case. But right now, I'm not a fan. I like what it does, like the reception that it brings. I would like it more if it was over there.
So the first day, the first half a day I drove with it, I hated it. Now I can't see it at all. It's just not even there. So see how we go by the end of the trip. This is the first time Sam's driven the car with this trailer on the highway. She's driven my cars with lots of trailers, lots of boats, all different things, but this is the first time with the camp trailer. What do you think?
It's definitely heavy. I can feel it when we're going up hills.
We're about 4.8 tonne at the moment.
But it feels fine. I feel grounded. It doesn't feel skittish. It feels fine.
Okay, on a scale of 1 to normal brick.
Brian?
No.
Oh, brick.
Compared to driving brick normally with no trailer.
Oh, this is far better.
So,
no
significantly better than an 80 series.
Yeah.
Oh, he's hairing up. I thought it was broken down. Oh, good. Yeah, so, just head down. Nice and low. 14 rear, 10 front, ready to tackle Bremer Beach. Turns out the river's flowed out and broken through and I can't drive along Bremer Beach. I did it like 10 metres before I could see the bloody river and yeah, we can't get through, so now we have to air back up because I didn't walk 10 metres and actually check, air back up and then drive an hour and a half around to where we're going. Yay! It's actually fine, I don't really care. I'm on holiday, I don't care. Just stupid.
Fred's having a great time.
Yeah.
That's what matters.
The medical kit has come in handy again. Especially that little temperature strip. Tell you what, get a bloody medical kit with a thermometer or temperature strip, that's very useful. Bill's got a fever. So we've called the Bremer Bay nursing post. They are going to come and, the nurse knocked off 10 minutes ago. She's going to come back and she's going to have a quick look at him. Now I know Sam's a doctor, but the problem is, and she can examine a person, but she's not a pediatrician. She's not a pediatrics doctor at all. She doesn't know anywhere near as much as a normal GP would about kids. So also she's Bill's mum, and it's not right. It's not kind of you
can never be impartial about your own family.
Yeah, you don't get an objective perspective when you're looking at your own child. So it's really important to go and take him to someone else. Anyway, we're going to take him down. Suspect that there'll be nothing. Sam suspects that there'll be nothing to be done or to do, aside from just rest and keep him hydrated and all that stuff. So anyway, we'll go and find out. But that definitely explains the last couple of days, doesn't it?
Very much so. I knew he wasn't right. Now, little man, he'll be okay, but I'd rather we just get checked before we go into the middle of the bush, essentially. So we'll see. And if the nurse from the Bremer Bay nursing post ever watches this, thank you for coming back after you've clocked off. Much appreciated. We'll see you soon. So I was just explaining to Harry that my medical school knowledge of peds is so limited. I've not done paediatrics since 5th year of med school, which was about 8 years ago. I think 8 or 9 years ago. But what I do know is that when the kids are under 6 months, you just don't take chances. They have a compromised immune system, they haven't had a chance to develop it yet, and they can go downhill very quickly. And they also don't present with things in the same way that an adult would. So an adult can come to you and say, I've got a cough and a headache, whereas babies just will get grizzly and have a fever, and maybe more wet nappies, less wet nappies and more poos or something like that. So you just don't take chances, really. I'm not into taking chances with babies, and that's why we're heading back, just in case.
Oh, suki baby.
Man, cold out here.
It is.
All right, let's take it in.
So little Bill is a bit sick, so he's got a fever, we've been to the nurse, Sam's still with him, he's got a fast heart rate, he's tachycardic basically, so he's got fast heart rate, fast breath rate. They're just going to do some observations on him for a while. In the interim, I've come and booked into Bremer Bay Beach Holiday Park or something. Anyway, they allow fires, which I love, and dogs, which I have. Dogs on lead. He's technically on lead. I'm just not holding the other end of it. So, I'm just going to set up here while they're doing the observations. Okay. $120 fine if you burn the grass. So, don't burn the grass. They don't usually let you have fire pits on grassed areas, but I assured them that I would be responsible and I wouldn't burn the grass. So I'm going to try and stick to that. And the way you stick to that is you get a riser. I don't have any in stock at the moment, but they're so good. Okay. Now that's raised off the ground, so I won't burn the grass. Alright, have a little Bill back. There's Bill
Yeah.
with his mum.
He's having a feed.
So what happened?
So he had a fever, fast heart rate and fast breathing rate, which settled really nicely with some Panadol, which is good. And the local nurse, Marnie, at Bremer Bay was wonderful. She looked after us very well. And then we telehealth linked to a consultant at Fiona Stanley ED, a paediatric ED consultant, who also agreed that, you know, keep a close eye on him overnight, and low threshold to bring him back, but should be okay to keep him at home with regular Panadol and close monitoring. But so Harry had shingles.
I did this.
No, you didn't.
So we've had a bit of a stressful few weeks. A death in the family and some other things going on. And I think from stress, I managed to give myself shingles. Shingles is the chickenpox virus. So there's a good chance that I gave Bill chickenpox.
And I was slow on the uptake. I didn't recognise it for 3 or 4 days, so it's also my fault.
Do you want to put your nip away? So I don't have to edit it out later.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. No, look, it's not Sam's fault.
It's not your fault either.
It's just shit.
It's just shit.
I didn't recognise it. I thought I'd been bitten by something, but in fact we both did, because I get bitten by stuff all the time because I spend so much time out in the bush. Anyway, in this little caravan park, it is sterile.
There's an AVAN.
This is an AVAN convention. I'm going to show you in the morning. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. There are probably 60 vans in this park. 50 of them are AVANs. It's so weird.
It's just thick.
We saw one other fire in the van in this park with another cub camperona. I was like, oh, these are my people. Last night was a better night. Bill was pretty good. Panadol worked well. Still definitely not normal, but pretty good. Now I'm going to show you the AVAN convention at this caravan park because it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. So over here you see normal vans. Just normal vans. We're over there. And then AVAN City. That is area 1 of about probably 7 like it, with just as many. It's insane. Alright, we're packed up, ready to go. I'm going to go and take a couple of quick photos because I haven't even got a photo of this cool setup. Hopefully get a little bit of clear weather to take a couple of photos, but that's it. We're going to shoot back to Perth, about 5.5 hour drive. We're not happy about it, but we're also not that gutted. It's just like, you can't expect everything to go perfectly with a baby, and it didn't, and this is a learning experience. And you know, I think every parent's got a story about that time they had to turn around because of the kids, and you know, that's just what's happened now. Okay, so we took Bill back to Perth, and first thing we did, of course, was take him to the GP just to get him checked over again by a second set of eyes, because we still didn't know what was happening. He really wasn't settling. He slept well in the car, but after that it was another terrible night at home, and we couldn't figure it out. So took him in. The GP did some tests, but said, actually, look, we don't know what it is, and we think you should take him to emergency. So we did. So we took him to Perth Children's Hospital, and they did a really good job, but they ran some extra tests. They couldn't figure it out for a good 3 days. So he was in there on IV antibiotics with a suspected bacterial infection, and it was a UTI, so it was a bacterial infection. Poor little guy did not have a good time. He really suffered in there, and I can tell you it's not much fun being a parent sleeping next to them in hospital. So we took shifts, and it was, look, going to the bush would have been exactly the wrong move in that scenario. He would have got so much worse, and we're really, really grateful that we did turn around. So, as I said at the start of this video, it's not medical advice, but if they're not right, it's always best to err on the side of being close to a hospital and being close to a medical centre. That quick run back to Perth was really, really valuable. On the positive side, 2 weeks later, we had the absolute pleasure of taking him away again. And we got him away and it was incredible. The setup works really well. Bill absolutely loved it. He slept beautifully. It had nothing to do with the nest, all that grizzling, and nothing to do with his bed. He had a great time in the bath, and just it was. Fred loved it. We loved it. It was a complete breath of fresh air. We didn't record it because, honestly, after what's been going on in the family, we really just wanted some time to ourselves, which is exactly what we got. And we will do more family camping vlogs if you like them. Obviously, let us know if you like them. But for now, yeah, we just wanted that one to be just us, just to enjoy it and just be present. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one, which won't be a family camping vlog. It'll be something else. But if you did like this, let us know. Cheers.